So good morning, students. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ms. Mazmavet S. Cabrera, your instructor for today's discussion. So again, good morning, class. All right, so how was your day? Very good, that's good to hear. So before anything else, let us all pray first. Who can lead a prayer? Yes? All right, thank you. So at this moment, I will be checking your attendance and please say hooray if your name is called. Are we clear? Alright, so wow, that's great to hear that you are all present today. Good job, students. So before we will proceed, allow me to present to all of you our classroom rules and reminders. So first, listen attentively. Second, raise your right hand if you have some clarifications. Third, do not talk if the teacher is discussing in front. And last, ask politely if you want to go out. So any reactions regarding our classroom rules, class? Do you have anything to add on? Are these reminders all clear to you? Alright, so now let's proceed. So let's have a review first, class. So what was our last topic, or what have you learned from our previous topic? Anyone? Yes, please stand up. Alright, so our last topic is all about teaching poetry. So in teaching poetry, class, there are three elements, and those are, yes, please stand up. Okay, and also we have two types of poems, which are lyric poem and narrative poem. So who can give me an examples of literary allusions and expressions? Yes, please stand up. Alright, so now you can give me the meaning. What is the meaning of Penelope's web? Anyone? Okay, very good. So do you have any questions regarding from our previous topic? None? I guess none, because you are all actively answer all of my questions. So if none, let's proceed to our topic for today. So but before that, class, let me show you first our learning objectives for this lesson. So who wants to read? Yes, please read. Thank you. So now, class, can we attain these objectives? All right, very good. So, but before anything else, I will give you some activity. Are you ready, class? Alright, so this activity is called Match Me. As you can see, there's a table in column A. There are literary terms, and in column B, also there's a brief literary quotes. So now, class, what are you going to do is match the literary terms in column A with the literary quotes in column B. Am I clear? Alright, so I will give you 5 minutes to match column A to column B. And your time starts now. So, are you done, class? So now, while answering the activity, what have you noticed? Yes, please stand up. Alright, so as you can see, class, this activity is connected to our lesson for today. So, what do you think is our lesson or topic for today? Okay, another? Alright, so both of you get the correct answer. So our topic for today is all about literary devices. So what comes into your mind, class, if you hear the word literary? Yes, please stand up. Another? Alright, very good. You are all correct. To sum up, class, literary refers to everything that has to do with or related to the creation, study, or enjoyment of literature. So, how about if you hear the word literary devices? Yes, please stand up. Alright, excellently uttered. So, class, let us all have a uniform definition of literary devices. Please read. Alright, thank you. So now, class, are these clear to you? Alright, so now, let's proceed to our topic today, which is literary devices. Are you ready, class? Alright, so in this topic, class, we will now discuss the different types of literary devices that can be found in the poem with the title of La Belle Dame Sans Merci, which is written by John Keats. So, La Belle Dame Sans Mercy is alright. But before that, I will give some printed materials containing the poem La Belle Dame Sans Mercy. As you can see, La Belle Dame Sans Mercy is a French term which is translated into English, which means a lady without mercy. La, which means a, Belle, which means lady, Dame, which means without, mercy, mercy, La Belle Dame Sans Mercy, or a lady without mercy. So now, I will read it first, then after that you can read it aloud. Understood? Alright. So now, class, we're able to read the poem. How many literary devices are there in the poem? Yes? How many? Alright, so there are 5 literary devices that can be found here in La Belle Dame Sans Mercy, class. So, what are those literary devices? Yes, please stand up. What else, class? Alright, great observation. In the poem La Belle Dame Sans Mercy, there are 5 literary devices that are present. So, those are metaphor, alliteration, allusion, consonants, and what else? Anaphora. Alright. So, if we say metaphor, class, it is a figure of speech in which one object is directly referenced by mentioning another for rhetorical effect. So, in the poem La Belle Dame Sans Mercy, the example of metaphor is a lily on thy brow. Why is that, class, that a lily on thy brow is an example of metaphor in the poem? Yes? Alright, very good. It is because the speaker is explaining how the night's face looks. A lily on thy brow alludes to the face of the knight's is white looking forehead complexions, which is pale. So the knight's face is wet and he appears like sick. So the knight's cheeks are also rapidly losing their color. Alright, so the next literary devices that can be found in La Belle Dame Sans Mercy is anaphora. So if we say anaphora, it is the repeating words of or phrases in a set of sentences, clauses, or poetry. So example of anaphora in the poem is we can see anaphora in the first stanza. Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms? And it is repeated on the second stanza on the first line. Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms? Right? Class, are you still listening? Okay, so let's continue. So next literary devices that can be found in the poem is alliteration. So if we say alliteration, class, it is the repeated use of similar initial consonant sounds in consecutive or closely related syllables within a series of words, even though they are spelled differently. So an example of alliteration in the poem given is in line 42. Look at your copy. So in line 42, with horrid warning gaped wide. So there's a repetition of a consonant there in the same line, which is the sound of wa. With horrid warning gaped wide. The repetition sound of W. Alright. So now, class, who can give me another example of alliteration? Yes, please stand up. Very good. Great observation. So now let's proceed to the next literary devices. So the next literary devices that can be found in the poem is consonants. So consonants refers to the use of the same consonant sounds repeatedly. These similar sounds can appear anywhere in the word, but they are most commonly found near the word's end or middle, or at the stressed syllable's end. So, I will give some examples of consonants that can be found in La Belle Dame Sans Mercy. So, look at your clappy, class. So, in line 26, and honey wild and manaju. And also in line 2, alone and palely loitering. So, there's a repetition of consonant sounds there in the same line. As you can see in the second line, alone and palely loitering, there's a repetition of and in the 26 lines, the sound of n. Understood? Do you get it, class? Alright, so next literary devices is allusion. So, allusion is a figure of speech in which an unrelated object or incident is subtly or indirectly referred to. So, the direct connection is left up to the audience to make. So, we can able to find allusion in the poem in stanza 7. So, look at your copy in stanza 7. She found me roots of relish sweet, and honey wild and manaju. And sure in language strange, she said, I love thee true. So why is that, class, that manaju is being called allusion? Any idea? Yes, please stand up. Alright, so it is because in this context, the fairy woman's gifts of roots of relish sweet, honey wild, and manaju show her deep ties to the nature, or show her deep love to the nature, as well as her evident devotion for the night, or her love to the night. So now, class, do you have any questions about our topic for today? Alright, so are my explanations are clear to all of you? Alright, so if there's none, I will give you an activity. Are you all ready? Alright, so now, class, for your activity, you will create a spoken poetry applying the different literary devices and you can present it to the class. And please refer to the rubric so that you will be guided. So, is my instructions clear? Alright, so now I have some questions to you. So why do you think, class, it's vital to integrate literary devices in poetry? Anyone? Please stand up. Alright, so it is vital to integrate literary devices in poetry because poetic devices are literary devices that are utilized in poetry, of course. And poems are made up of a variety of poetic methods, alright? Including structural, grammatical, rhythmic, metrical, verbal, and also the visual aspects. So, they are necessary instruments for a poet to generate a rhythm, of course, to enhance the meaning of a poem or emphasize a mood or sensation. Do you get it, class? Now I have another question. So, why is it important to know the literary devices, class? Yes, please stand up. Alright, you got it. Of course, it's crucial to understand literary devices because they help us readers, also the teachers, use students to connect with the characters and ideas by highlighting significant concepts in a work, and also strengthening the narrative and allowing us to connect with the characters and themes. So, also in literature, these devices are used for many different things, of course. Some work on a cognitive level, while others have an emotional impact. So, class, you already know the other literary devices that I have discussed a while ago, right? Alright, very good. So, what are those literary devices that I've mentioned a while ago? Yes, please stand up. Very good. So, what literary device is the repeating of words or phrases in a set of sentences, clauses, or poetry lines? Yes, please stand up. Alright, you got it right, class. So, how about the repeated use of similar initial consonant sounds in consecutive or closely related syllables within a series of words, even they are spelled differently? So, what literary device is this? Yes? Very good. So, it looks like you are all listening attentively to my discussions. And with that, I will give you another activity. Are you ready? So, for your activity today, class, you will create a comic strips or cartoons based on the poem that I gave to you with the title La Belle Dame Sans Merci. And please be guided for the rubrics for the rubric, for your grades. So now, class, are my instructions are clear? Alright. So now, class, I know you've learned a lot from from this day's discussion. So, anyone who can summarize the lesson? I need 2 students to summarize our lesson for today. Yes, please stand up, miss. Okay, another. Yes, very good. Thank you. So, every students need to learn devices because you can utilize them in your classes and also in your college essays. So, as well as in your SAT writing part, as well as in your college education and also in your future career. So, and it is necessary to understand literary devices because it also aid comprehensions of other people's work. So, do you get it, class? All right. So, for your evaluation for today's discussion, for today's topic, please get a sheet of paper, then answer the given questions. So, you can write only the letter and the correct answer. Understood? So, first question is, it is a figure of speech in which an unrelated object or incident is subtly or indirectly referred to. A. Allusion. B. Anaphora. C. Metaphor. Or D. Alliteration. Number 2. Who is the author of the poem La Belle Damson's Mercy? A. John Keats. B. John Keats. C. John Keats. D. John Keats. 3. La Belle Damson's Mercy means A. A girl with mercy. B. A beautiful girl with mercy. C. A lady without mercy. Or D. A lady with mercy. Number 4. It is a tool that writers employ to allude to bigger themes, ideas, and meaning in a tale or piece of literature. A. Devices. B. Literary. C. Literature. D. Literary devices. Last number. It is a figure of speech in which one object is directly referenced by mentioning another for rhetorical effect. A. Consonants. B. Metaphor. C. Allusion. D. Alliteration. So, are you done, class? Alright, so please pass your papers in front. Now, please go back to your seats. Alright, now, for your assignment, class, please do an advanced reading for assessment and teaching poetry. Understood? So, do you have any clarifications, violent reaction for today's discussion? None? So, I guess none. So, I guess let's call it a day. Goodbye, class. And thank you for listening.